Hey guys, Sandra here for Starsinpalm. Welcome to my channel, and for this video we're going to be doing a DIY planner cover. As well as how to create an elastic band and your own custom charm for your planner. So I'm super excited to get started with this, and for this video I will be working with graphicstock.com, and I'm really excited to show you guys some of the awesome stuff I made, so let's get started. So for this first cover that I'm going to create for my planner, I'm going to go to graphicstock.com and find some images that I really like for this project. All of the awesome images that you will find here are royalty free, and they have a huge library of content. They have illustrations, backgrounds, basically you name it, they have it. They're all super cute images. This is a subscription-based website, but you can totally try it out free of charge for 7 days by clicking the link in the description box below this video. It works a lot like Netflix, so if you don't cancel before the 7-day free trial is up, then you will be billed for another month. So please do keep that in mind. This site is definitely worth checking out, and I know that you guys will really love the images on here as much as I did. And it's just a fun thing to try out if you've never tried something like this before. Whether you do scrapbooking, or you're a planner person, or a card maker, it just has really fun images to work with, and especially for projects that are DIY or if you make a lot of your own things yourself. So I'm really excited to share this with you guys. I decided to look up some fall images for my first cover because I wanted to do like a Halloween as well as like a fall themed cover. So I knew that I could find the perfect images in the library just by looking up fall themes, which was really cool and really easy. I ended up finding an image that I really like on its own, so I didn't need to do anything to it, but if you did want to edit an image, all you'd have to do is put it in Photoshop or simple editing program or Word, and you could definitely edit it through there. Right now I'm just going to download my image and basically just print it out, and I'm going to show you guys the settings I use to print it out as well. Now that I have my image downloaded, I'm going to click on print, and then I'm going to adjust the settings because obviously I don't want it to be auto-rotated the wrong way. And I'm going to click on fill entire page so it fills that entire page, because for this specific project I need it to be quite big, and you guys will see why as I work on the project and the size of the planner. Since I'm already on the Graphic Stock website, I figured I might as well print my Halloween one while I'm at it, and I'm just going to go to the favorites section of the website where basically I save all of my favorite images that I want to download later or use for other projects, and I already had a specific one in mind that I had downloaded for another cover and that I had the perfect idea for, and it's a really cute one that has this witch holding a skull, which I thought was perfect for what I'm trying to do. So basically I just downloaded it and then opened it up on my Mac, and right away it just opens up and you can hit the little toolbox above that's glowing blue and just add whether it's your name or October or a cute little message or quote. It's really simple. You just choose the font that you want or what you want it to say, or whatever color, and basically the options are pretty much endless. You can customize it as much as you want, and this is really basic. Even for me who's not super like tech savvy, this is as basic as it gets, you guys. So if you think that you're gonna have a hard time, you're really not. This is pretty much as simple as it gets right here. And I did decide to go with this font, which is Happy Halloween, which I really loved, and I can't wait for you guys to see what a cute cover it's gonna make. And now I'm just gonna print it out and make sure that it is filling the entire paper for this cover. Now that my papers are printed out, I'm super duper excited to turn these into covers so you guys can see how freaking cute these are gonna look. Now I'm just going to go ahead and trim all of these down to fit the size of the cover on my planner, and you could also do this for a spiral bound notebook or whatever you have in your stash. All you have to just do is adjust the measurements, and I'm just using a pencil to basically mark some areas where I want to cut, and you could also do this by measuring with a ruler, but I just prefer to do it this way because I know it's going to come out exactly like I want it by just adding my marks. And no worries about leaving the pencil mark, because where I'm going to be cutting, you're not going to end up seeing the pencil mark because I'm going to be cutting them. And now I'm using my handy dandy trimmer to just cut where the lines are, and this really helps you to cut very straight lines. But if you don't have this, you could totally just use a scissor. This is just a way to ensure that you're going to get super straight lines, and it's just a lot easier. So since I already had it, I figured I'd use it. But as always, I will leave links in the description box below to all the products that I use in case there's something that you're looking for in particular. Now I'm just checking the cover to make sure that the cover is lining up and that the size is coming out correctly, and it is. I'm just going to trim a little bit off, being careful not to take off too much. That way I still have the autumn to show up for the cover, because that's like my favorite part. And I'm going to be doing the same exact thing for the other papers that I printed out. I'm just going to be trimming them down as well, making sure that they fit and that I don't cut off too much of the parts that I like, because yeah, we want to have that which be the prominent piece of that, as well as the Happy Halloween. And I'm so excited for you guys to see how this one looks, because I'm not even done with it yet. I'm going to add some finishing touches to it that are really going to make it shine, in my opinion, but you could just leave it simple or you could add things to it. I'm also going to be using my corner rounder to round the corners of these papers. I just really love the way that it looks with rounded corners. I feel like it finishes it off. But if you don't have a corner rounder, you could also use something rounded that you have to trace around it and create your rounded corners in that way. And now I'm just turning on my laminator and I'm waiting for the green light to come on so that it is ready to go for sealing my covers. Now I'm just getting my little sealing pocket here and putting my little paper inside there and getting ready to seal it. And I would say be careful when doing this so that you make sure that you put it the right way, unlike what I just did. And also make sure that you're holding it straight, because you don't want to get any wrinkles in it, because then you are going to have to basically reprint a whole new paper, which is not a huge deal, but just in case you want to save yourself the time, then maybe just do it correctly the first time. I actually, little honesty here, I actually had to reprint that because I did get some wrinkles in it, because I basically didn't hold it like properly when I was putting it in. So as you can see right there, those are like 2 wrinkles that are in it, and yeah, my OCD would not allow me to keep that on my cover. So for this next cover, and I will show you all the covers at the end of this video, I'm adding some double-sided adhesive stars that I punched out with some punches that I have, and I will link them below if they're available. I've had them for a while. But basically I'm just taking off the backing for these, and you're going to see they're going to look really cool. And if you watched my DIY planner inserts video, you saw me do a similar thing but with hearts. And basically what it does is it acts as like a little film that's left over that looks clear, but you can kind of see it. It almost looks like a shadow. And I'm going to be putting some gold foiling on these, and I thought that would just be really cool to add an extra little something to this cover, because I just thought that would look nice, and I love gold, as you guys know. So yeah, so now I'm just taking my gold foiling paper that I had. These are scraps that I had, which I love keeping my scraps for this very reason, because it's great for like small tiny projects. And I'm just rubbing it against all those areas to create that. And this is a great thing to do if you, let's say, want to add extra things to the cover but you don't necessarily want to do it on the computer. You could totally just add things after you print out the backgrounds and kind of customize them to whatever you like. And I actually really love the way this cover came out. Like, I'm kind of obsessed with it, and you guys will see how it looks at the end when it's all pretty. And I'm just going to put it in, and I'm being extra careful with this one since it is my favorite one. Now that we have our covers all laminated and ready, you see they have that plastic edge around them, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that off, being really careful to not cut too close to the edge, because we don't want to cut our papers by mistake or even open up our lamination. So as you can see, I left a border around this just to make sure that it is properly sealed, and I prefer it that way as well. And now I'm going to use the cover that originally came with my planner to basically mark off where the holes are going to be punched. And if you're doing this for a notebook or something else, you're going to want to try to use a paper or the cover to kind of mark your holes as well, to give you a guide for where you want to punch out your holes. And now I'm just using my crocodile tool, but you can use any standard hole punch. I just happen to have this one in my stash. And again, I will link things in the description box below, but this is just a really good one that I've had for like a few years now. So, but like I said, any standard hole punch would work just fine. And I'm just going along the holes, and basically I don't even have to worry about any marks because I'm just cutting exactly where those holes are. Now that we have our holes all punched out, we're going to move on to our next step, which is just cutting little slits. I'm doing this because I want my cover to be removable, as well as to be able to attach it, because this planner uses a certain arc system for rings, so it basically works with the binding for this specific planner. But if you have maybe a coiled planner or something like that, then you don't necessarily need to do this, but I think having a removable cover is always a good idea, especially if you want to change your covers monthly or do it for the season or for whatever reason. I just like to change things up all the time because I'm a girl. So yeah, that's something that I definitely recommend. So now that we have our planner covers ready to go, and they are looking fabulous if I do say so myself, all we have to do is attach them to our disc binding, and like I said, you can definitely apply this to any other kind of planner you have, whether it be spiral or bound. You could definitely create a custom cover doing the same kind of method that I did. And I'm just sticking those in, pushing them in, and it easily locks into place, and I love the way that looks, you guys. I've never had a planner cover with my name on it or anything like that, so I really love the customization aspect of being able to create your own planner and kind of add whatever you want to it or take away from it. And then I also love being able to switch them out and just change them up whenever I want. And this autumn one is super cute, completely different than the Halloween one, but still equally as awesome. So yeah, I hope you guys loved this. And now we're going to be moving on to our next part of this DIY, and that's creating a custom elastic band to go on our planner to keep it closed when you're on the go, as well as a custom charm to add to it. So let's get started. To create your own charm, you're going to need an image. You can choose whatever image you want. I happen to choose a switch image that I also got from graphicstock.com, and it's a really cool image, and I just resized it inside my printing options, which was really easy, and it's at 12% right now, and this was super simple to do. And I'm just cutting it out of here so I can use a paper punch that's a 1-inch circle, because that's the size that I resized this to. That's going to be the perfect size for our charm. And as always, I will have links in the description box below to all the products I use, so be sure and check that out there if you need a 1-inch punch for this. But if not, you could also cut this by hand or cut around it with a scissor. Anything like that would work. I just feel like this is the easy way for me to do it, but this is a super fun and simple way to do this, and I love these images. I especially love them because they kind of remind me of the book Wicked, and it makes me kind of think of like that kind of witch figure, so I really love that, and I thought this would be perfect to add to my planner, especially since I already have kind of like the witch figure on the cover anyway. So I just pulled out my little toolbox that I keep extra little trinkets and things in whenever I'm creating something specific like this, and I have this metal charm finding, which I'm pretty sure I probably got at my local craft store, but if I can find it online I will link it, and it's the perfect size to fit a 1-inch punch. And then I have this epoxy clear circle that is going to cover it to just create a really cool dome effect on it, but you could also use resin if you wanted to, or something else. I just happen to be using these because I had them in my stash. And now I'm taking some E6000 to glue down this little paper. I'm using this because I know it works well with metals and things. You could probably use another glue that you've had a good track record with, possibly Tombow Monomulti would probably work for this, but I'm just using this because I know for a fact that it's going to work really well. And I'm just going to lay this onto there and kind of just push it into it, and I would give this a chance to dry so that you don't have anything sliding around, and it doesn't take very long to dry. I'd say a good 15 to 20 minutes and it should be dry. And now I'm taking the epoxy circle and I'm putting it right over it, and I'm just pushing down just so you guys can see what a cool effect you can get with it. So now that we have our planner charm basically ready to go, and I really like the way it looks with that specific image and the color, we're going to work on our elastic band that's going to be like a closure for our planner. I know a lot of people say that when they have kind of a more floppy type planner that has these types of covers, that sometimes they have a problem with it moving around when they put it in their purse if they maybe like to plan on the go. So I thought it would be really cool to create an elastic band to go around this planner. So I'm trying to get a good idea of what size it is, because I want it to be tight but not too tight that it's, you know, bending the pages either. So I'm trying to make sure that I pick the right size. And this band is an elastic stretchy band, the kind you would use for a hairband, and I picked it up from Dritz, but I will see if I can link it in the description box below if I'm able to find it online. And it came with this really cool kind of orangey tie-dye looking color to it, so I thought it would be perfect, and I kind of found what I think is the perfect size for it. So now I'm just going to run it through my sewing machine to make sure that I seal it closed. You could also just tie a knot if you wanted to, and it would still look kind of cute, or do a bow, but I just wanted to seal it with my sewing machine because I just thought that it would look the nicest going that route. So now we have our band all closed, and I am by no means a great sewer, but I think it came out pretty good. And now I'm just going to cut off the excess amount that we have, And you're basically going to do this just based by going around your planner. I'm not sure the exact measurements to this, but it's pretty simple to do it, and it wasn't very big. And now you're just going to cut off any excess so that you don't have anything dangling off. And basically you're good to go. And now you have a perfect little band to go around your planner. And now to attach the charm to this, once you have your banner in place, you're going to pick up your charm and decide where you want to place it on the band. And then you're going to get a jump ring, which I had a silver jump ring in my stash, and it's quite one of the, I would say, larger sizes. Medium to larger size would work perfect for this, but you could also use a smaller one. I just like the way that the medium to larger size looks for this. And then I'm just using one of my flat nose pliers to just attach this onto the elastic because I like the way that it looks like this, but there are other ways you could go about this. But I honestly love the way this ended up looking, and it's great because you can kind of just move your charm along the band whenever you want. If you want to have it lower or centered towards the middle, you could always do that. And basically it's really simple. You just attach the hook to there and then make sure that you close it and you're good to go, you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope if you do create something, you make sure to tag me or hashtag me on Instagram at Sandra.Amelia. I will have links to all my social media in the description box below. And also be sure and check out graphicstock.com, which I will have linked in the description box below if you guys want to do that 7-day free trial and check them out. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching, for your lovely comments and support, and be sure and like this video if you want to see more planner DIYs. Again, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!